I think I already know the answer to this, but do you ever have this thought? If my art studio were just a little bigger, a little brighter, if it was out somewhere away from my home, or if it was inside my home, if it was prettier or better in some way, then I would have my dream art practice. Then I could really get into the good stuff. Then XYZ amazing things would happen. Me too. I've had that thought every day for at least 20 years, including today. If you're in a less than ideal art making space, I totally get it. It can kind of suck, but I want to tell you, your current art studio is good enough, and the art you make in it is good enough. Listen to that again. Don't let the shortcomings of your studio space stop you from making the art you want. Yes, I know you probably can't make this huge 12-foot painting in an 8 by 8 foot studio room, but you'd be surprised at what you can make. I've pretty much tried it all. I've made art in like every type of art studio imaginable. When I was a kid, I was really lucky. I had basically our half of our garage as an art studio, which was amazing, but you can imagine quite cold in the winter. And then we moved to another house where I had this amazing secret attic room, which was awesome for making art, but also incredibly hot in the summer. When I lived in New York all through my early 20s, I had like tiny corner of every bedroom as an art studio. And then I moved to LA and I had this amazing huge dining room space that I turned into an art studio, which was incredible, but it was sort of in the middle of the house and didn't really have doors, so it wasn't great for getting into that kind of solitude that you need sometimes, at least I do, for making art. And I've rented studios in commercial buildings, which I kind of always fantasized would be this like end-all be-all perfect art studio, but they didn't always work out for me either. There's something about being home and kind of cozy that really works for me. So now I'm back home, and home is a New York City apartment again. So it's a small corner of my living room that is my art studio. And I make decent sized art. I don't make a lot of huge pieces, but I make a lot of art, a lot of originals. It's messy. I use paint, and so I take up a lot of space. And yes, I have to store a lot of my art supplies in my closet with my clothes. And yes, I have to clean up my space a little more often, keep it more tidy than I might like to for just pure creativity. But it works. It all works. And the lesson I've learned and kind of the moral of the story to all of this is you can make art almost anywhere. Your dream studio is coming if you don't have it yet. I truly believe that you will find your space. But in the meantime, enjoy the amazing things you're creating right now and don't let the space stop you. Because last summer I had the biggest commission of my career so far, which was 18 40 by 40 paintings. Now they were unstretched, but that's still quite a lot of real estate. And guess where I worked on the majority of that project? In a little nook of my slanty ceiling attic apartment kitchen. And it worked out. And so just keep going and try not to let the space dictate how you feel about your art practice. I truly hope this video gave you some perspective on quote-unquote dream art studios and where you're creating your art. If you have any questions or comments about this, feel free to leave it in the comments and like and subscribe so I can keep sharing more about art.